Good evening. Thank you so much, Mr. Palmer. I really appreciate that introduction. And let me thank the Jack and Jill Association of America for this debate, and I'm delighted to be here. I want to just share with you a few things about me, and I'll go right into the things that I think you're here for. I am about to complete my 12th year on Roanoke City Council. I am married. My wife, I've been married for 38 years. I think I got that right. And I have 2 children. My daughter is in her 16th year as a middle school English teacher at Williamsburg Middle School. My son has several businesses. He's the executive director and owner of several businesses in Southside Virginia, here in the city. I have 3 grandchildren. Again, I've served for 12 years on City Council. I've served for 5 years on the Roanoke City School Board, 1 year as chairman of the TAP Board of Directors. I'm currently working with my own consulting business, SP Lee and Associates, and I was appointed by Governor McCullough to the Virginia Parole Board. I currently serve there. Roanoke is surging. Roanoke is surging, and when I say that, things are happening. People are moving back into the city. Roanoke is basically right now almost nearing 100,000 people. When I started on the council, we were down to about 92,000 people. So people are coming back to the city. A lot of good things are happening. I don't have to remind you, this week with the Shoot Brewery, E-Boat out in Botetourt County. The good news we're getting with Virginia Tech Research School of Research is really going to grow, and it's growing out there. Another thing that we've had that seemingly gone on the radar is broadband. And one thing about broadband is that you'll be able to get on the internet and get your information a lot quicker. And that's going to really help economic development. Our high school graduation rates are high as they've been since I've been around here. And we're very pleased. Our police department, fire department, and all are very have been accredited. So we're delighted that Roanoke we're surging. And my role, the reason I want to be mayor is I want to make sure the entire community, everybody feels a part of that surge. Okay? All right. I think I've given you a little bit of open state. One of the reasons that I'm running for mayor is because I want everybody, all our citizens, to feel a part of the excitement and the surge that's going on in our city right now. As I mentioned, there's some great things happening, but I feel that all of our citizens aren't grasping it or not feeling the vibrancy that goes on. And I want to serve as mayor. I want to be your mayor to lead us forward in the years ahead. I think there's a lot of things that's going to work well for us. And I think that with my experience and my commitment in the neighborhoods and the things that I've done in the past, the things that I've helped create will help us. And I feel from the position of mayor, and I see the mayorship as a position of leadership. Mayor is a leader. And I think I've, through my work in the community, has shown that I can lead people. Leading, when I say lead, is not because you are the loudest or you work the longest or any of those things. You lead because you have the ability to bring people together, to get things done, and really, in most cases, create a positive outcome from what you've done. I've done that with domestic violence. I've done a lot of that with what we've done in our neighborhoods, in our communities, this summer with our basketball league. And I think what I want to do is get ahead of the curve, which is what I think we've done this summer with our youth basketball by introducing our young people to our police department. That was a positive thing. We're getting a lot of awards for that. So I have a lot of energy, and I think I can use that to lead this city to even greater heights. Well, first of all, that's good news, good question. First, we have to continue to do the things that help us to bring that brewery to our community. and that is working as a region. We have to come together as a region, not just Roanoke City, but Roanoke City, Roanoke County, the New River Valley, Botetourt County. We have to come together to set ourselves as one, because we can do more as a region than we can. We have a regional partnership that we work with, and I think that's the first step. I would continue to do that. Also, we have to continue to train our workforce, to prepare our workforce for these jobs, because these jobs are coming with different skill sets. So that's important that we continue to develop our workforce, and so they can really be a part and really make a commitment and get these jobs that are coming to our city, not only with the brewery, but in other areas of our community. The best thing to do is to make sure that you support small businesses that you have. The small businesses, I think as a city, we can be more business friendly to businesses that come in our city. Not make it so difficult to start a business. I think that's important. I think as mayor, I would want to bring some stakeholders to the table, our finance community, people that can come and help motivate and stimulate our community and help those entrepreneurs who want to start businesses. Because oftentimes there are a lot of people especially that are stepping out, do not have the credit that they need or do not have the financial resources. And I'm proud of what we're doing as a city. Every month, we on council meet with businesses, all the businesses of our city, because we recognize in this city that businesses are our lifeblood. But in order to attract new business, we've got to make sure that we treat and support the businesses that we have, small businesses. And that's something I want to emphasize, because we're not going to land at a brewery or the manufacturing company, E-Boat out in Botetourt. You're not going to land those every day. But your small businesses are ones that you need to nurture and support. And I think we're doing that. And as mayor, I would do that and make sure that we have our stakeholders and our financial stakeholders in a position to help those to help small businesses to establish themselves. I expect someone who is an independent thinker, that can think without being pushed, someone who can critically analyze data, someone who's willing to speak up, and someone who's willing to make tough decisions. As a school board member and as a chairman of the school board, I don't think there's a higher calling than serving on your local board of education. And that's what we're attempting to do on council. Right now, Roanoke appoints school board members. And when we want school board members to be committed, to be strong, to be dedicated, because education is the foundation of your community. It's so important. And so that's one of the things, well, several of the things that we would look for in school board members, to make sure that they have that passion and commitment to education, and to have that ability to think independently and not be afraid, to have courage. Courage. People who serve in public service have courage. Sometimes to go against the trend, to go where the winds go, to deal with adverse situations, because adversity is going to be a part of it. But to make those tough decisions, as this school board has had to make over the past 12 months. So that's what we would look for. And in doing that, we want to make sure that we've got the right people. We do a good job at vetting people. But because we're on that subject, I want to encourage people. We have difficulty getting people to apply for the school board position. Nobody wants to come out for some reason, and maybe they'll come out during this debate. But it's a challenge for us to find people who are interested in serving on the Board of Education. Great question. Sure. I think we have to recognize, and I say it the old-fashioned way, everybody's not going to be a doctor, lawyer, teacher. We've got to recognize that. But there are a lot of people, a lot of young people who have skills with their hands. A lot of young people who want to get into the vocational skills. And over the years, our school system has built up stigmas against people who wanted to be vocational students or major in, or to get involved in auto mechanics or to do things with their hands. So it's important that we do that, life skills, and look at our curriculum. And I think we're doing that. At this city, we have an excellent relationship with Virginia Western Community College that works with us. And I think the vocational skills programs in our schools is working very well. But we need to continue to look forward to that. I'm excited about the possibility of a governor's school for vocational skills and trades. So it's important and that we change it because it's going to evolve now. Our educational system is evolving now, and we want more people to become really interested and stay focused in school. And so we have to make our curriculums very relevant and relative to what we're doing today. So that's important, and I think right now we're doing a good job of that, and we have a real good working relationship where we collaborate with Virginia Western, which is a key stakeholder in vocational skills and vocational jobs in our city. I think that's important. That's important, and I'm happy that I had a chance to work with Chief Perkins, probably as close as anybody on council to a degree in terms of what we've done. Community policing that he started, I worked with there. Again, the community basketball league that we started, the prayer walks with the police department. So the person that I would look for would be a person who is visible. First of all, to be visible, to go in our communities, to work and to be seen and to be willing to share with you the vision of the police department. Because right now, in the time that we live in, is critical. That's a critical position. That police chief or the person that's going to lead that police department. All you need to do is look around the country at the issues that are happening in urban police departments. Not only with the issues in terms of neighborhoods, but with ISIS and all of the things that are happening in our country. So somebody that's, again, knowledgeable, has the experience, and has a wherewithal to want to get involved. See, you can't train somebody to be visible, to want to go out in the neighborhoods, to talk to people. You can't mandate it. There has to be a want on the inside. So that's what I would look for in our next police chief, that kind of person who wants to make a difference and bring the community together. Because on council, our first and foremost responsibility, whether it's at council, at the state government, or the local federal government, is to make sure that you are safe. That's the first and foremost responsibility of a police department, and I would hope that that would be of our police chief, next police chief. Well, I think we need to get out there again, stay visible, stay out there. One of the reasons that I brought forth the basketball league this summer, people thought it was about basketball. Basketball wasn't on the table. It wasn't about basketball. Basketball was the vehicle. I want our young people to get to know the police officers, to understand that in a positive light, but I also want the police officers to get to know our young people in the community, because they understand that they all are not gangbangers. They all are not trying to get over. They all have aspirations, even though sometimes they come from different neighborhoods, different mindsets. But it's important to do that. That's why I wanted us to get ahead of cities like Ferguson, Missouri, Cleveland, Ohio, Baltimore, Maryland. And that's what this summer was able to accomplish, because every day we talked about respecting each other. We talked about staying in school. We talked about being all that you can be. So it's important that we get out there, and I think it's important that our police chief lead the way in making sure that things are being done equitably around the country and around our community. So that's important, to be visible and to set a pattern. See, everybody can say what they want to do, but you've got to do that. That's a concern. I think we've had a chief that really wants to address that. Those are some issues, but I think we have to make sure that we're out there and visible and in the communities. I believe in community policing in a positive light. Well, that's a part of it, and that's where when I talk about the surge in Roanoke, everybody's not feeling that surge because we have over a number of our students in our schools that are homeless. We have a lot of homeless, and that's a tough situation because oftentimes a lot of our neighbors push their homeless people to Roanoke City to deal with that. But I think we have to work collaboratively with other agencies. You know, it's not no one certain fix that you can do that. And we have to work to make sure we provide shelters, to make sure that there are places for our homeless and our homeless students. So there has to be a committed effort from everybody, from not only the city and the taxpayers of the city, but also other agencies. We have to work together because it's tough. It's tough. And it's tough for me to see buses pull up at the rescue mission or pull up at hotels and take kids to school. So we've got to we as a council make some tough decisions, but we realize, and I realized early, because there's a difference between campaigning and governing. When you're governing, you see the dollars. You know, campaigning, I can give you a wish list and tell you I can go out and build a set of apartments right across the street over there. But when you're governing, you realize you don't have that kind of money. So you have to make sure that you bring everybody in. So let's approach this collaboratively and let's go out and see what we can do. But at least you have to be sensitive to it. I think I said it, we're sensitive to that. And we're working on that. We're working with that, and we'll continue to work with that problem because it is a difficult problem. It's a difficult problem in our city. And sometimes now working with homeless, you got to realize we've got some people, and because I'm out in the community, who refuse to go in the shelter, who refuse to be home. They don't want any help. They love staying on the street and using the golf cart or sleeping in the benches. They want that. So you have that. But those I like to think are exceptions. So we're committed in our city to making a way for our homeless people, and especially our students who are homeless, generally not because of any decision they make. Thank you. I got you. Well, let me say it this way, and I'll try to give you an answer that's not real political. It's adequate, but it could be better. It could be better, but we face some challenges in that. Again, and I'm recognizing that I'm speaking I'm on council right now. I'm on council right now, and I look at the dollar. I think we have to focus on my concern, and you've heard it discussed, or many of you have heard it discussed about making transportation go out into certain areas and go out on the weekends and go to certain localities. That costs us. That costs us, but we're looking at that. Matter of fact, this Monday, we're going to have a presentation from a regional study that will help us, because right now we're looking to take buses out to out in the community, out to Clearbrook, out as far up in 460, as far as we need to go, out to DMV. But let me tell you a little concern about that. There are businesses and companies that are in Roanoke County, but Roanoke County won't give us $10 to help get those buses, because some of these routes, with what we're doing, we're going to have to buy buses. It's going to be a capital expense. But we're willing to do that, and we're trying to do that, but we want it to be a regional type of expense, and we're hoping that Roanoke and Roanoke County and Salem will come in and support us on this. But it's a challenge, because we've got to recognize that we're spending your money, and those localities are not wanting to extend a hand of help. So we're going to make the decision. We recognize we need to improve that to make sure we create and assist our citizens with jobs, because we know jobs are important. But we've got to make some wise decisions. I'm confident that we're headed in the right track. Monday, this council will be making decisions as a proposal that has come regionally to help us do that as we go forward with public transportation. Well, first of all, it's important that we become user-friendly to make sure that we can provide for those that are less fortunate. I think we do a good job of that with our Human Services Department from a council standpoint, we want to make sure that in our budget that we do those kinds of things that will help us in terms of assisting those that do not have as much. And you can tell a lot about a community about its budget. I think this council's focus is good government. Good government. And good government means you take care of those as best you can that are less fortunate. And what we do in terms of our budget, we utilize what we can, and we put the money into human services to make sure that those services are provided for the homeless, those people, those that are unemployed, to make sure that while we do that, while they're going through those struggles, we can provide them as much as we can. But again, it's not just a Roanoke City issue. We have to make sure that we have our agencies and programs designed to help us to work with us in those kinds of issues. But first of all, with anything, you have to have a desire to do that. I think we have a city manager, a city administration, whose focus is that. We have city managers very visible in this community. And he's our CEO. And he comes back and we share that. You'll see him at most events in this community. And I think it first starts with a want to help, with a want to do it. And I think we have that. Even though we're in difficult budgetary times, Roanoke and I'm confident that we'll continue to provide for those to have a decent quality of life, for those in situations that they can't help themselves. First, to have, I think, because that's an issue that's not a Roanoke issue, that's an issue that you see and hear that's statewide, but we've got to make sure that we don't discriminate against anybody, that we open doors of opportunity for everybody. And I think this council and this city administration is committed to doing that. And I think that's important. We recognize, and I come from a generation that if anybody can talk to you about what discrimination means, it's my generation. And I'm saying that shouldn't be the case for anybody. So we have an open city. We've done some things with the communities, the gay communities, and others regarding recognizing them with gay pride days. And I think this city has reached out and will continue to reach out and not be a city that's having difficulty or discriminating. So I think we have to have that attitude to make sure that all our citizens are given an opportunity and not discriminated against, and work with them where we can. And I think we've proven, as far as I can determine, we've proven to do that. In the years that I've been on council. Well, to continue to invite youth to participate in a lot of the activities, make that activities accessible, invite them down to the museum, activities that we have, to sponsor more activities, our recreation department to do a lot of things, to be open and inviting. And I think we're doing that, and I think I'd like to see us continue to do that even more. But you have to have a community that's open to trying new things. But I think continue to do that, continue to have activities, and continue to give a lot of money to our Councilwoman Price and her youth services program, which is what we do to invite and bring children, our young people, and ask young people what it is that you want. What it is you want to do. You know, and that's something that we're doing. We've always, what is it that you want to do? We got surveys, we got activity, and we got a little money in the budget for that. But we want you to tell us what it is that you want us to do for you. And to have that kind of attitude, and we got it, we got the people to do it. So that's what I would do. And I know I'm over the minute. You got it. Yeah. The summer youth program? Yeah, we're very in favor of that, and I think my money, my budget indicates that. You know, the summer youth program, put a lot of money in that. We want young people to not only get involved, and I'm out there. See, I wouldn't be out on the basketball court at Melrose Park in June, on June the 29th, 92 degrees walking around if I want to interest in the summer youth program. Because I want our young people, because the young people is critical. It's important that we hear from you. But we're doing that. That's important. And to do what we can do for our young people to keep you hopefully employed, but at least is there during the summer doing constructive things that help you become better students and better people. All right, thank you. Thank you for the question. Our city manager sends each council member from time to time quotes from magazines that tell you about leadership across the country. He recently sent a magazine to us from the Atlantic magazine. And it said, these are the signs that says a city will succeed. And I thought it was interesting. And as I looked down at it, it says the city will have a downtown that's vibrant, that has restaurants where people are coming to live. I think Roanoke fits that bill. We're not all the way there, but with what we're doing downtown, the vibrancy that we have downtown, with the Elmwood Park that we're having downtown, we got a downtown. Secondly, and also apartment living and people moving downtown. Secondly, a city that's going to do well is a city that's near a research university. Well, we're near Virginia Tech in Blacksburg, and I think we're partnered with them on a lot of different issues. And now we have the Virginia Tech Career School, which is important. If you have near a research university, your city will succeed. Thirdly, have and care about a community college. Have a community college there. We have a community college in our city, which is doing a great job. Dr. Sandale and Virginia Western partners with us and collaborates with us tremendously. So, and good schools. Good schools. And I won't go, I'm running out of time, but good schools. But let me say, I've served you for 12 years on Roanoke City Council, 5 years on the school board. I have chaired and led some of the most important aided programs and activities in this community. I showed you, I'm a person about performance, not promises. And I'm asking you for your vote on May 3rd so that I continue to serve. And I'm a person of action. And I'm committed to this community, have been, and will continue to be. So I ask you for your vote on May 3rd. Thank you so much.